I had everyone talking shit at me at school. Everyone was making fun of me.
Really?
Teachers made fun of me. Principal told me there's only one Dr. Dre, not to do this as a career path.
Murda Beatz, whose real name is Shane Lee Lindstrom, hails from the small town of Fort Erie, Canada. It's a place with no hip-hop scene to speak of, making his journey to becoming one of the world's hottest producers all the more remarkable. Growing up, Murda wasn't initially drawn to music production. He started his musical journey as a drummer, following in the footsteps of his dad and uncle, who were also musicians. Murda would often jam with them, but after a while, he realized his growth as a drummer had stagnated. Recognizing that a professional career as a drummer wasn't in the cards, he began contemplating other options, including majoring in business in college. However, a pivotal moment came during his final year of high school when a friend introduced him to FL Studio, a digital audio workstation. Murda was immediately hooked. He made his first beat and knew right away that producing music was his calling. That summer, he dedicated himself entirely to learning the craft, spending countless hours indoors experimenting with beats. His passion and hard work paid off quickly as he began collaborating with significant names in the industry. Murda's first step towards becoming a producer was trading in his electric drum kit for a keyboard. This gave him the tools he needed to start creating beats. Back in high school, many of Murda's peers were fans of a Bay Area rapper named Ya-Boy. Murda thought that if he could collaborate with Ya-Boy, it would cause a stir in his school. With this in mind, he started sending beats to members of Ya-Boy's crew, and surprisingly, he soon found himself releasing tracks with them. Simultaneously, he began selling beats on YouTube, steadily building his reputation. Despite his growing ambition, Murda faced a significant amount of skepticism and ridicule. Teachers and classmates doubted his dreams, often discouraging him from pursuing music. One teacher famously told him, "There's only one Dr. Dre," implying that he should give up. But Murda didn't let the negativity stop him. While others in Fort Erie focused on traditional paths like playing hockey or pursuing stable careers, Murda dedicated himself to his passion. Murda's resourcefulness was key to his success. Early on, he recognized the power of social media in connecting with artists. He noted that Chief Keef was dominating the rap scene at the time, so he titled his YouTube uploads as Chief Keef Type Beats, which helped his music gain traction through algorithms. When he wanted to collaborate with specific rappers, he would search for their crew members on Twitter and Instagram, focusing on those with fewer followers, and then send them beats. This strategic approach helped him transition from being an unknown producer in a small town to working with major artists in just a few months. 2 months after Murda started making beats, Soulja Boy hopped on one of his tracks. Murda had initially given the beat to a rapper named Rocky Diamonds, and Soulja Boy later jumped on the remix. While Soulja Boy wasn't at his peak anymore, having his name associated with one of Murda's beats was a big milestone. Murda's early inspirations included Atlanta trap producers like Lex Luger, whose work heavily influenced his style. Despite his remote location and lack of direct connections, Murda was determined to break into the industry. He immersed himself in the Chicago drill scene, which was exploding around 2011. Using social media, he connected with a Chicago rapper named Kill Bill. Realizing that he needed to immerse himself further in the industry, Murda took a leap of faith and flew to Chicago at just 17 years old. There, Kill Bill introduced him to a new world, taking him into neighborhoods far removed from his Canadian upbringing. The experience was transformative, and before long, Murda was collaborating with major Chicago artists like Chief Keef and Lil Durk. Even as he gained recognition, Murda kept an eye on the underground scene. That's how he discovered the Migos early in their career. Impressed by their talent, he returned to Canada for a while but knew he needed to be part of Atlanta's thriving rap scene. Offset was incarcerated at the time, but Murda connected with Takeoff and Quavo through their friend Skippa da Flippa. Murda offered Skippa free beats in exchange for introducing his work to Takeoff and Quavo. This strategy paid off, as the Migos soon followed him on social media and invited him to Atlanta. Initially, the Migos were skeptical of Murda, wondering if he was genuinely creating his beats or outsourcing the work. To prove himself, he flew to Atlanta and spent time in the studio with them, eventually earning their trust. This marked the beginning of a long-standing collaboration. Murda would stay with the Migos for months at a time, producing hundreds of tracks. Their partnership resulted in Emmett Smith, a track that gave Murda his first exposure on BET and MTV. Despite his growing fame, Murda's financial situation remained challenging. People in his hometown assumed he was a millionaire, but he revealed that he was far from it. At the time, he was charging just $1,000 per beat. However, his persistence paid off as the Migos began taking him on tour, exposing him to new opportunities. In 2015, Murda and the Migos achieved a breakthrough with the track, Pipe It Up, which popularized the dab dance move. While the Migos didn't invent the dab, they played a significant role in making it a cultural phenomenon. Murda's career skyrocketed from there. In 2016, he earned his first platinum record with French Montana and Drake's track, No Shopping. That same year, he began working with Gucci Mane, further solidifying his position in the Atlanta scene. By 2017, Murda was a household name in the rap industry, collaborating with legends like Nicki Minaj, Snoop Dogg, and Party Next Door. He continued to work with the Migos, producing hits like Motorsport, which featured Nicki Minaj and Cardi B. The following year, Murda shifted focus to building his personal brand. Recognizing that producers often remain behind the scenes, he started featuring his name on tracks, ensuring fans knew who was behind the beats. Murda's collaborations in 2018 included the massive hit, Nice for What with Drake, which went 5 times platinum, and Fifi with 6ix9ine and Nicki Minaj, which achieved 8 times platinum status. While Fifi was a commercial success, it sparked controversy due to 6ix9ine ongoing feuds, particularly with Chief Keef. Some fans criticized Murda for working with someone who had targeted his associates, but he maintained that building connections was central to his career. As Murda continued to dominate the industry, he also began exploring new ventures, including collaborations in other genres and mentoring up-and-coming producers. His story serves as a testament to the power of resilience, creativity, and leveraging technology to overcome obstacles. From a small-town drummer to a global production powerhouse, Murda Beatz's journey is a remarkable example of chasing one's dreams against all odds.
When we made Emmett Smith, I remember seeing it on BET, and like people thought I was making like millions of dollars those times, and I had like no money, like none.
At that,
Keith T and Trippie Redd clowned 6ix9ine on their track, I Kill People, sparking a feud. 6ix9ine fired back on Instagram, daring Keith to come to the East Coast. In June 2018, things escalated when 6ix9ine allegedly put a $30,000 bounty on Keith's head, asking where he was staying. T and 6ix9ine had a heated FaceTime argument, with 6ix9ine taunting T about not being a shooter. The beef reportedly started over Cuban Doll, a female rapper who dated T but was also friendly with 6ix9ine. Allegedly, T confronted Cuban Doll over her flirting with 6ix9ine, leading to escalating tensions. 6ix9ine responded by making videos mocking T and Chief Keef, fueling the feud further. T challenged 6ix9ine to link up while he was in New York, but no one realized how serious the situation would become. When Chief Keef traveled to New York, he was heading to his Manhattan hotel when a member of 6ix9ine's crew, Kuda, allegedly shot at him. Later, during a RICO case that landed 6ix9ine's crew in legal trouble, Kuda admitted to the shooting and claimed 6ix9ine had offered him $20,000 for the hit. However, since he didn't hit Keef, 6ix9ine reportedly paid him only $10,000. The situation left many fans shocked, especially considering Chief Keef was one of the first rappers that Murda Beatz worked with. Fans questioned Murda's choice to collaborate with 6ix9ine, who had allegedly put a bounty on Keef's head. While Murda Beatz wasn't directly involved in the drama, some speculated he might not have understood the gravity of the situation at the time. 2018 was a monumental year for Murda Beatz, cementing him as one of the top producers in the industry. By 2019, he had signed a deal with Interscope Records and dropped his debut single featuring Lil Pump and Kanye West. He also launched his own label imprint, aiming to sign and develop new talent. Fans began comparing him to legendary producers like Dr. Dre, expecting him to dominate the music scene for years. However, Murda Beatz's career trajectory took an unexpected turn. Despite an incredible run from 2015 to 2018, during which he consistently delivered platinum hits, Murda gradually faded from the spotlight. By 2019, he was no longer producing major records at the same pace. In an interview on No Jumper, Murda hinted at the challenges of navigating the rap game, saying it was difficult to discern what was real or fake in the industry. Murda's decision to step back remains a topic of speculation. Whether it was due to industry pressures, creative burnout, or personal reasons, his fans continue to hope for a return to the iconic sound that made him one of the most sought-after producers in hip-hop. Murda Beatz seemed to love his life, but behind the scenes, things weren't as perfect as they appeared. In 2020, he collaborated with Ariana Grande on the track Motive, which hit the charts, but his studio presence was minimal that year.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna just, listen, I'm gonna just get your address. I know where you at. Don't worry about it. You hear me? I got 30 pack of them right now, bro. 30 packs.
2021 followed a similar pattern. Murda partnered with his friend Shorty Shorty on a project, but beyond that, he released very little music. That year, he also found himself in industry drama involving Polo G's chart-topping track Rap Star. Murda was credited on the song and proudly posted about its success, claiming it as another #1. However, Polo G disputed this, asserting that only his collaborators Einer Banks and Cinco worked on the beat. He criticized Murda for falsely claiming credit, and the controversy raised questions about Murda's role, potentially damaging his reputation. In 2022, it seemed Murda was gearing up for a comeback. He dropped a track with Pharrell, Quavo, J Balvin, and Anita, but the momentum didn't last. Around this time, Murda shifted away from studio production and began focusing on DJ sets. Although he had previously said he didn't want to pursue a DJ career, the lucrative offers were too tempting to pass up. While Murda Beatz remains a respected figure in the industry, his move away from consistent music production left fans wondering if he'll ever return to the prolific output that once defined his career. Murda Beatz seemed to love his life, but behind the scenes, things weren't as perfect as they appeared. In 2020, he collaborated with Ariana Grande on the track Motive, which hit the charts, but his studio presence was minimal that year. He announced plans to release his debut album in June 2020.
It's just like when you do shit like this, it's hard to tell what's real and fake. Everything's blurred lines when you get into a situation of when people want to fuck with you. So it's like you don't know what's real and what's fake, and sometimes that could be tricky, get you into problems.
Shorty on a project, but beyond that, he released very little music. That year,
People that you grew up with doing.
Working a 9 to 5 in the same town.
Yeah, at best.
But yo,
They're
you
drunk
could
off their ass in the park.
Everyone could, hey, you could be happy in any situation, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're probably more happy than we are.
You think?
Never know.
reporting that only his collaborators Einer Banks and Cinco worked on the beat. He criticized Murda for falsely claiming credit, and the controversy raised questions about Murda's role, potentially damaging his reputation. In 2022, it seemed Murda was gearing up for a comeback. He dropped a track with Pharrell, Quavo, J Balvin, and Anita, but the momentum didn't last. Around this time, Murda shifted away from studio production and began focusing on DJ sets. Although he had previously said he didn't want to pursue a DJ career, the lucrative offers were too tempting to pass up. While Murda Beatz remains a respected figure in the industry, his move away from consistent music production left fans wondering if he'll ever return to the prolific output that once defined his career. Murda Beatz initially resisted the idea of becoming a DJ. He recounted that early in his career, Coach K encouraged him to DJ, but he rejected the notion, wanting to focus solely on producing. However, as his brand grew, opportunities for DJing became hard to ignore. Murda received an offer to DJ a New Year's party in Hawaii, which his manager framed as a free vacation. He accepted, and the experience kick-started his...
I used to never want to do it. I always used to be like, man, I don't know if I want to do the DJ stuff. Like, I remember like way back in the day, Coach K was like, man, you should DJ. And I was like, nah, I don't want to DJ. Like, I want to be a producer. But then like, I just feel like the brand just kept getting so big where it's like, then we started getting offers. Like people wanted me to DJ, they want to see me. I have music that people want to see live. So it's like, got to the point where we got like an offer like 4 or 5 years ago to like, it was for me to DJ a New Year's party in Hawaii. And then my manager's like, man, it's like a free vacation. Like, you might as well take it. I'm like, I might as well take it, you know? And then that kind of just got the ball rolling.
Spoke about prioritizing mental health. He acknowledged the widespread struggles with mental health in the music industry and beyond. In 2023, Murda released a few more beats for Quavo and worked on another project with Shorty Shorty. However, he largely stayed out of the spotlight. He never explicitly explained his decision to step back from the industry, though some speculate that his reputation took a hit after the drama with Polo G over the credits for the track Rap Star. Additionally, personal challenges and the impact of Takeoff's death likely contributed to his quieter presence. That year, Murda returned to his hometown of Fort Erie, where he delivered a speech at his old high school. His former English teacher shared a story about seeing Murda's laptop during school, discovering he was producing music. At the time, Murda proudly mentioned he had just sold his first beat for $30. At the assembly, Murda donated $10,000 to the school's toy drive, showcasing how far he had come from those early days. The last time Murda Beatz made headlines wasn't for music, but for crashing his Lamborghini in Japan. During a visit, just 2 days after arriving, he crashed into a pole. Thankfully, he wasn't injured. Fans hope that the next time Murda is in the spotlight, it will be for dropping another hit rather than facing personal setbacks or controversies.